This is Baldilocks Gaming. My name is Red. Thank you very much for tuning in. In this video, I'm going to go through OBS and show you how to set it up. How to set up your first screen, go through the settings, initial settings, etc, etc. Some things do change based on whether you're on Windows, Mac or Linux. Obviously, in this case, I am doing this setup on Linux because I've recently moving over, and rather than show you the setup process on a system that was already partway through that, what I've done is, because I haven't set up on Linux anyway, I'm going to show you the process for myself on Linux, and you'll be able to take that, because the interface is the same, and you'll be able to take what I've shown you and tweak it just a little bit for what you're doing on Windows. Not a lot does change. As I say, the interface is the same. Your directory listings, your device names, etc., they will change based on your system and your hardware, whether or not you've got Logitech C9 webcam or some other webcam, or if you've got a Blue Yeti microphone, lavalier microphone like I'm using here, which goes into the audio input on the front, or if you're using the webcam mic, etc. Just follow along, and if you do have any questions, just drop them in the comments below. I'm more than happy to answer any of them. And without much further ado, let's flip this camera around and let's start recording the screen, metaphorically speaking, and I'll be back with you in just a moment. Hi. Yep, OBS, how to set up scenes and get ready for going live to stream to either Twitch or YouTube, or even restream.io to stream to both. Now, I'm going to take you through the process of setting this up with restream.io, but it should be exactly the same whether or not you're using YouTube or Twitch. The only difference is where you get your stream key and server information, or which server you choose. Now, OBS, when you first start it up, is going to take you through this auto configuration wizard after you've accepted the license. I've already done that. And so we optimize for streaming. Recording is secondary. We want a base canvas of 1920 by 1080 with a 60 frames per second. That's the hard. We want it to be using 60 so that we're uploading at the best possible frame rate. Now, the streaming service is restream.io. I already have my stream key in there. Simply a matter of, to get that, it's a case of going to restream.io, logging in. I've currently disabled both my channels for the test, and you choose restream.io. You get Twitch, YouTube, YouTube Gaming, Smash TV, Mixer, other options, and if you show all, there's lots. Right, we're going through for Restream, so that's the one that we choose from here. I get streaming services. Now, I'm not going to show you my Restream key, but basically you copy it from here to there, and prefer hardware encoding, and estimate bitrate with bandwidth test may take a few minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this started, and then what I'm going to do is, it's going to stream some randomized data, and it says best to temporarily shut up saving videos of streams and set the stream to private. I've basically done that through restream.io, so we're going to kick that off, and it's going to go through and run some tests. As you can see, Restream picks up on that. So what I'll do is I'll pick this up once it's went through all the various servers. There's various ones all over the world. I'll pick it up about 90-95%. I'll be back with you in a moment. And here it is, just going through the last few servers. Seoul, South Korea, about a minute or two from here. Now we're on 94, Tokyo, Japan. Then if I remember correctly, it goes to check in Australia. I'm sure. Where are all you Aussies? Test your local server there, Sydney. And just about finished. There we go. So, program has determined the estimated settings are the most ideal for you. Service restream.io, server EU West London, bitrate 10,000, hardware and streaming encoder, hardware NVENC, recording encoder, hardware NVEnc. I don't know why it's doing this thing, but high quality, medium file size for recording, base canvas 1920 by 1080, output scaled resolution 1920 by 1080, FPS of 60. We'll just apply them, and then we're in the default scene creator or scene thing. So as you can see, it automatically gives you a microphone and a desktop audio as standard. We don't want them. I found out that it's best if you turn them off. So if we go into settings, you can see various settings for general. You can choose your language. You have a choice of themes, output, show confirmation dialogues, automatically record when streaming, keep recording when streaming stops, etc, etc. Stream, that's your streaming thing. Output 10,000 NVEnc code, the usual. I'm going to change that to Billy videos, recorded videos, which is where this video which I'm recording just now is being saved, because I'm recording it with Kazam. But yes, we'll get that saved in there. You can choose your file name or space, recording format MP4. If you get any, if the system has an unrecoverable error and you need to restart or something, do bear in mind that your recordings will not be finalized, and if you use FLV then, or one of the other ones, then it saves it in an incremental, well, rather than needing the whole file finished in one. But MP4 is generally a more widely accepted file format, and easier to work with. Obviously the encoder, again, you've seen software, low CPU, and hardware. And your audio, 44 kHz stereo, desktop audio device disabled, default microphone disabled. Your choices in here will of course vary depending on your system. I've got a PlayStation Eye HD webcam and this mic that I'm speaking through at the moment. If you want to disable all of them, you can choose whether or not you want to push to talk, push to mute, anything like that. I'm going to apply those settings, and I'm going to change this to 720, because as much as it says that I can output it at 1080, my experience from Windows tells me that when I attempt to do it at 1080, my processor's not quite up to the task, so we'll drop that down to 720, and you choose your hotkeys in here. And then there's some things in here which, I'm going to be honest, some of these I don't understand, colour format, etc. So if you don't know what these are, look them up on Google or change them, as you see fit, but it will involve you having to reset your settings if you do make any mistakes which are unrecoverable. So we just click OK on there, and then the mix is clear again. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a new profile. This profile is going to be for Arc. So we've got profile arc scenes. We're not going to have the untitled one. I'm going to start with a starting soon. And remove that random scene that it created on its own. So there we go. Now, my starting soon scene, as I said, I've got them all here. So we've got the starting soon JPEG. So we add a source, and it's going to be an image because we've only got the one. If you've got more than one image that you want to use as your background, then use slideshow. I'm just going to use the one. So it's starting soon image. Browse, and again it's under documents, OBS scene files, arc, and then starting soon. So here, and I will choose to unload the image when not showing, which is a good idea. And so that's that. Now we also want where audio output capture. I'm going to call this game and music because I'm going to use it again in other scenes. And the device is going to be the built-in audio analog stereo or default. You can choose to leave it on default, and that will then adjust if you're using headphones or if you're using desktop audio through speakers, then it will adjust for you. Or you can choose a sound output source from there. Obviously, if you're running your Xbox through a capture card, then rather than a audio output, you might use the audio input from the capture card to capture your game audio, and then this one to record music. Or if your setup's anything different than that, then obviously I hope you'll understand how to choose the correct audio source. So I'm going to choose default, and that gives me gaming music. And in order to test that, I'm going to bring up where is it went? Pretzel. That's the music that I use to stream with. Obviously I've been searching for Pretzel Rock's local client, which is not available on Linux. So we've got some music which you may recognise from my stream. This is your record volume. Doesn't change the actual volume which you're hearing, but it changes the volume that your listeners or viewers hear on the other end. This one changes the record volume. What is that? So that's game and music audio. This scene almost set up. The only one thing I want to add is in here. I'm going to add in the chat from restream.io. Obviously, if you're using something different, then use that one instead. Now I'm going to copy this and then we're going to add, in this case it's a Linux browser. If you're on Windows, obviously it'll be browser source, and we're going to call that restream chat. Again, we'll be using this in more than one place. Then we replace that URL with that one, and we want the width. Let's have a look. That's a bit wide, so let's change the width to 600 and the height to 500. Yes. Now you can see there is a background on there which I don't want, and that's provided from Restream. So we'll change the background opacity to about 25%. And is there an apply button down there? No. And I've got relay mode enabled for Now, got enough of a background. There's one the zoom left at 100%. Not what I want to do. And choose custom CSS. Anything here that you want to do. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to save that and then move it into place down under here. And that's my starting soon scene setup. I might tweak it later on, but yeah, this is a graphic that I made on this occasion. This one was made in GIMP. If you prefer to use Photoshop, Paint, .NET, any other art package, you obviously, or you know, if you get an artist or something to do it for you, take their file and do what needs to be done. Now let's just nudge that over to the right, because I noticed there was a white border over on the right and a white border at the top. You can nudge individual items with the keyboard. There we go, in the white border, and as I said, that's this one all set up. Next thing we want is we'll do the thanks for watching, or closing scene, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to call it thanks for watching. So basically your intro and your outro scenes. So again, we want an image. Thanks for watching. Image. Again, if you try and name it the same, it will throw an error message and you obviously then have to change it. So, thanks for watching JPEG. Unload when not showing. And again, we want an audio capture, which will be gaming music. This time we choose add existing. Select that one. And then we'll gaming music. And finally the chat, which is going to be media source. Nope. Not media source, browser source. Add existing, and we can use restream chat. I can drag it where we want it, and there we go. All set up, nice and easy. The more that you do, you set up scenes, the easier it's gonna, it's gonna get. Looks like I may have a white border there. Might have to check my image. Again, but there we go. So that's those two saved, and then finally we need the live scene. This is the one that you're going to use while you play your game. Now, at least I'm going to use when I'm playing Ark. So next thing we need is, well, first thing we need is the screen capture. Not the audio. Also. We'll grab the audio. This time we're going to set one up for the microphone. Okay, and the device, mine is called built-in audio analog stereo. Yours might be called something different. I've also got a webcam for the web from the webcam. I've also got another one from my Logitech C910 webcam, and also from my PlayStation Eye, which I can use for either as an alternative microphone or as an infrared camera, which is what it was originally purchased for. But in this case, I'm going to use the built-in audio analog stereo. Choose the appropriate one for your system and click OK, and you can see the lines going up more or less with my voice. Again, your input, the slider here controls what your audience hears rather than what you hear. And then another audio output capture, which is gaming music again, and that goes there. And next, the one thing that we do need is the game capture. Now, in order to capture the game, we need to run the game. So let's find Arc. It's going to be under all. Yeah, and the Steam. So let's open up my Steam. And there they show up on the desktop. So let's launch Arc. And of course it's got updates. This workshop content. Okay, that's fine. So we launch Arc. And there it's there. So yes, and it's installing one mod, blah 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 blah. I need OBS again, and open, and then we need a video capture device. No, window capture. Arc game footage. And then we want in the window, which is Arc Survival Evolved. Should be this one. Yes. And click OK. And you can choose to make changes here as you wish, including X border, anything this. But we'll leave everything as default. Capture the cursor. We can see that it's all there. And the one thing we want to do is drag that to the bottom, because I'm now going to add on an overlay, which is going to be an image. There's an Arc overlay. Excuse me. Arcscene.png. That. Oh, this grey area is blank. So we add all this in. This is obviously pre-rendered for when I was recording this on Windows. So at the moment I don't have the death counter set up, nor the pretzel rocks now playing. That may have to put something else in this area and make some changes, but for now we'll go with the file as it is. And there we go, we've got that. Now what I've done is I've set this up so that it's pretty much fitting in that area there. Now you notice that there's one more blank area here, and that is for my webcam. So again, video capture device this time. Webcam footage, and you get a choice of cameras. The one looking at the floor, or that one, which is looking at me. So I'm going to choose this. Resolution, we can do that. We can change this to something like 640 by 480. Makes it a little bit more square. 640 by 360 gives you a little bit of a zoom in. You can see my bowl in the background. I forgot this was going to be on screen. So let's set it at 1280 by 720, frame rate unchanged. Click OK, and that then gets placed to, let's do it this way so we can see what we're moving. And just about there. Nudge it to the left a little bit. And again, the webcam footage gets dragged down, just there. So it's hiding behind the overlay. And that's pretty much it. That's everything set up. Oh no, not quite. We want to add chat. So this was the Linux browser. In my case, yours will just be a browser source. Add existing, restream chat. Okay, and then we find somewhere appropriate for it to go. as this is not an in-game one, I'm going to leave it here. Obviously you can move it any way you want. You can shrink it and make it bigger, whatever. Obviously, do bear in mind you still want it to be legible on the viewers' screens. But we've got chat, we've got this. Obviously if I had this set up on Linux, then you would add additional sources for the image, for pretzels, or your chosen music source, album art and text. I had this set up on Windows so that I had a text file that Pretzel wrote to when it changed the song, and the album art was saved to just an album art JPEG image, updated when the song information changed, and I just added it the same as I did with the overlay or the thanks for watching, etc. Just add an image source. In terms of putting text on screen, like the latest donation and latest follower, add, and then it would be a text source, and let's do latest follower. You get to choose your font. On this one, let's go with audio wide. Do I have audio wide available here? Yes. Let's go with audio wide bold, size 32. Select. Obviously, your system will change. Now, this one we want it to read from file. If you use Streamlabs or Streamlabs labels or similar, it will set up Streamlabs. There we go. And you get a whole host of the various texts that they can use. Total donation, weekly cheer amount. In this case, I'm looking for most recent follower, which is this one here. And if we just open that up, and it shows you what the file contains. This file is updated by Streamlabs just to give you the user ID or name of the person who last did this action. So recent follower, recent donation, and just add that in there, click OK, and it will show up here, and you move it to where you need it to be. There we go. We can do the same with the latest donation. Text. Latest donator. Select font again. Audio wide bold. 32. Select. And read from file. Browse. And most recent donator, open, and it gives you the name and the amount. I obviously chose the wrong one, so let's have a look again. Most recent donator. There we go, just the name, that's the format that I chose. Select OK. Bring that down here, and we stick it just there. You can obviously move that where you want it to be. These are all in my overlay, but for let's say we wanted to add something which we hadn't placed in the overlay already, like for instance my website address, just for another cheap plug here. So we add a text capture, website address, okay, we'll select font audio wide again, keep it nice and consistent, and this time we're not going to read it from a file, this time we're going to type it in, so that would be Baldilocks gaming.bwwd.co.uk, check my spelling, yep, So select font, yep, the color obviously is down here, color 1, color 2, you can choose to go outline, which will then take in the second color, or you can do drop shadow and outline. You can use a custom text width, you can choose to word wrap, all these things. Yeah, so you got your text, you can make it anything you want. You click OK and you get that there, and then you can move it about anywhere that you want. Let's say we put it, yeah, too big for there. So let's just place it here. And yeah. Now there are other options that you can play with, such as media source. If you wanted to add, say, a video file, or you know, if you had a pre-rendered video that you wanted to show at the start of your stream, you can choose that. Let's call it intro or intro, and you browse to the file. What have we got? I got a song in here. I don't have any videos. I've got images. So I've got a video in here, one in there. Let's grab that one, and it will show you eventually a thing of it. And then you can choose the speed, close file when active, use hardware decoding when available, whether to play it on a loop. Click OK, and this is the one that I recorded that, you know, I was testing earlier. And you can adjust the size. So you wanted to put it in a little box, do what you want. Yeah, so you can put filters on things, and those are a little bit more advanced. Or you can remove. Yes, you want to remove intro, but that's me pretty much set up for this afternoon. I've got my starting soon scene, my thanks for watching, and my live scene. I don't need anything else. I can see that the microphone is picking up my voice. Obviously gaming music isn't playing because I don't have any sound coming through, but arc is there. Need to set up my death counter, which is just another text input source which records a number. I use auto hotkey to make changes to that file and bring up the you know, when I die. Tap plus, number changes. Little things like that is what I do. Obviously, I've been messing about with different aspects of streaming and looking at this, you know, lots of things that maybe some other people won't do. But yeah, if you have any questions, put them in the comments. Very happy to help. And if this is the first video that you've seen by me, as everyone else says, like, follow, share. You can follow me, as you can see, on Twitter at twitter.com/Baldilocks Gaming, Facebook, facebook.com/Baldilocks Gaming, and YouTube, which if you're already watching this, you already know that I'm on Baldilocks Gaming on YouTube as well. And if you wanted to check out the website, there it's there. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to catch you on one of my streams next time. And whatever time of the day it is, I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I'll catch you on my next stream. Thanks, and goodbye.